everybody. Welcome back to the Dungeon Dive. Daniel here. I hope you're doing well, and if you're not, I hope you are soon. And welcome back to Solo RPG Friday. And in this video, we are going to be talking about my thoughts on Ironsworn Starforged. So I sat down to play my third session of Starforged, and I just kind of stared at the table for quite a long time. I would get up, maybe go check some email, check the Dungeon Dive Facebook group, check YouTube, go get some coffee or something to drink, sit back down, stare at the table, think about the rules, read through the book, look through the various pages that I have printed and scattered about. And I just couldn't bring myself to continue playing. And that wasn't because I wasn't having fun with the character that I had created or the world that I was playing in, the world that I had created using the system that Starforged uses to generate your world and your truths. It wasn't that I wasn't having fun. It was just that I was having a hard time getting into the mechanisms of Ironsworn and specifically Starforged. I kept feeling that the mechanisms were pulling me out of the game. Now, I know that Ironsworn is an incredibly well-loved system, and it is also a very well-made thing. I cannot deny that, but it is just a thing that I don't think is for me. But because it is so well-loved, I did want to talk about a few things that I really do love about Ironsworn, specifically Starforged, because that's the main version that I have played. Before going into the things that are kind of pushing me away and preventing me from fully enveloping this system. And I'm probably going to end up selling or giving away my copies of both Starforged and Ironsworn. So some of the things that I really do enjoy, and one of the main things is the ease of access and availability of all of the different kinds of cheat sheets and player aids and information packets that you can print. This thing has so much available for free to various players. And it doesn't even matter if you ordered them or not through the Kickstarter or through their website or anything. If you can go on to ironswornrpg.com and you can download PDFs of all of the asset cards that we talked about in the first video, absolutely for free. You can download really nice player packets that have all of these great charts to keep track of all of the various things while you are playing. Really nice character sheets. You can download for free an entire list of all of the various moves and the rules associated with them. You can get all of your worksheets for all of your world creation elements of the game. There are so many great things available for this game, and they are made available for free. They are super easy to find, super helpful. The creator, Sean Tompkin has really gone out of his way to make this game as accessible as possible to a huge number of people. And I really do appreciate that. To show this in a different light, or to show a negative side of this, I recently got this really cool game called Down We Go. And Down We Go is this very rules-like kind of a system for unique kind of dungeon crawling. And it has a very unique character sheet here. This is what the character sheet looks like. This would be a pretty difficult character sheet to recreate using Word or something. There's a lot of information on here. I had an incredibly difficult time finding a character sheet to download for this game. This website, downwego.games, doesn't exist. I Googled a character sheet. I couldn't find one that looked exactly like this or any official character sheet at all. It was super hard to find. I emailed the designer. I never got back. I never heard back from the designer. I finally got in touch with the designer on Facebook, and they finally sent me a full PDF version of the book just so I could print that one page of a character sheet. It was a very frustrating experience. If you have a unique character sheet, if you have these kinds of unique sheets that are available for your game, make them easily available, make them easy to find. I spent a good couple hours trying to find this one character sheet, and yeah, it was a really weird that it would be that hard to find this day and age with everything available online. Usually, I can find a character sheet just by typing in the name of the game and character sheet in Google. But I really do. I want to applaud Sean Tompkin and the team behind Ironsworn and Ironsworn Starforged just for making all of this great material available, all of these things that make playing the game easier. I also greatly enjoy the design and look of the book. I think the art is fantastic. And let's kind of take a look here at some of the artistic credits here. So we have additional art by Jeff Zugale and Saren Dollinger, and lead illustrator here, lead illustrator and art direction by Joshua Meehan. The art in Ironsworn is really well done. It's not my typical kind of my personal favorite style, which would be more of a black and white line drawings, ink drawings. This is a very kind of a modern style of art, but I think it fits the game really well. And there are a few pictures in here that drew me into the game and made me really excited to play. I'm going to just kind of flip through the book here so we can kind of just take a look at some of the really nice art. This is a very modern kind of science fiction art. But that is awesome right there. I love that. Really cool picture. There's also this one picture of this giant worm where this guy is standing by a waterfall. And I want to get a screen cap of that so I can put it on my computer and just kind of use that for inspiration. There it is. Because I think that is just a wonderful piece of art there. Very evocative. And it creates a sense of wonder, and it creates a sense of me. It helps me want to explore a weird world. I always like waterfalls in games, and especially in video games, and especially when there are secret things that exist behind those waterfalls, those weird kind of natural veils that create a cool threshold for an adventurer to explore through. I love the layout of the book is really well done. And it does a great job of introducing all of the rules. And as a rule book, I also think it is very good. There are a lot of rules to Ironsworn Starforged. And the book, when you first pick it up, can be pretty intimidating. But as you start reading through it, it very gently eases the reader into the rules. It's well organized. There are good tables of contents. It's easy to find the information that you need. The information that you do find is well presented. So there are a lot of things to like just about the physical book. You could also get this reference guide, this handy reference guide. Now, this reference guide is not free, but you can get a lot of the information that is in this reference guide free on the website, or you can also order this reference guide, which just has all of your charts and everything that you might need, all of your oracles and all of the rules for all of your moves and all of your generators and all of that kind of stuff is all easily accessible in this reference guide. This is very, very handy. And the thing that I liked most about my time with Ironsworn Starforged is when I was creating my world. My session 0 was so much fun. And I do want to encourage other designers of RPGs to kind of ape this system and come up with something similar. I want to emulate this system and create something like this for Morkborg, for a system that I really do love to play in, just to help kind of flesh out your session 0 and help to create the world. This is called Choosing Your Truths. And these are worksheets that you go through answering questions or rolling randomly on different tables to determine the background of your world, to determine the makeup of the sandbox that you are playing in. And it is very focused on the world for Starforged. So there are other kind of world generating systems, but they aren't focused on the they're not focused on the specific game that you might be playing. For instance, we have the Shield Dice World Generator books that we've taken a look at before, and I love a lot of things about Shield Dice materials. I have some new things from them that I want to take a look at, but they're more generic, so sometimes they don't exactly fit into the exact game that you are playing. But everything about these worksheets are geared specifically for Starforged, and they do a great job of helping the player come up with an interesting sandbox to play in. So I really did enjoy working through these worksheets, answering questions, responding to prompts, rolling dice for random outcomes, and just generating my world to play in. This was a lot of fun, and I do want to see something like this specifically made for other systems. So those were all the things that I like about Starforged. I like the way that it helps create the world. I like the way that it incorporates the fiction in the world, and I like that all of the stuff that you need to do that to make that easier is accessible and readily available. What I didn't like was the abundance of rules, and I kept thinking that while I was playing, while I was sitting down to get into my next session, I just kept getting paralyzed by the overabundance of moves. And the moves in Ironsworn, a move is a container that contains things that help dictate your mechanical actions that you are taking in the game, as well as the narrative outcomes of those actions. And moves can be both focused on the character, the story, and they can also be focused on the player, the table, and the meta. And there are so many different moves. I mean, just look at this is the list of moves right here. We have Advance, Aid Your Ally, Ask the Oracle, Battle, Begin a Session, Change Your Fate, Check Your Gear, Clash, Companion Takes a Hit, Compel, Confront Chaos, Continue a Legacy, Develop Your Relationship, Earn Experience, End a Session, Endure Harm, and Endure Stress, Enter the Fray, Explore a Waypoint, Face Danger, Face Death, Face Defeat, Face Desolation, Finish an Expedition, Forge a Bond, Forsaken Your Vow, Fulfill Your Vow, Gain ground, gather information, heal, hearten, lose momentum, make a connection, make a discovery, overcome destruction, pay the price, reach a milestone, react under fire, repair, resupply, sacrifice resource, secure an advantage, set a course, set a flag, sojourn, strike, swear an iron vow, take a break, take decisive action, test your relationship, undertake an expedition, or withstand damage. Okay, that is a lot of stuff. That is a lot of choices that you can make. Now, not everything you do in Ironsworn is a move, and that's how it should be. You know, when you are playing a typical role-playing game, you don't roll a dice for everything. You don't do a stat check or a skill check for everything. Sometimes you just do the thing, and that is encouraged in Ironsworn. You don't have to be a slave to the moves. However, when you do something that is a move, you really do need to make sure that you are using the right move and that you are using a move at all if it is available. Because if you don't, you can very easily disrupt the momentum of your session and you can miss making progress. You can miss a mechanism that might prevent you from pushing the story forward on a mechanical level. And this game is very mechanical. There are a lot of progress charts, progress boxes that you need to check while you are playing. And this is how you move the game forward, by making progress on certain actions and certain quests and certain tracks. And so in order to push the narrative forward, you need to make sure that you are using the right moves at the right time. As an example, just in combat, there are, let's see here in combat, where's my combat? There are 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 completely different things that you can do in combat that all have different outcomes. They are associated, the moves are associated with different kinds of actions. If you are trying to grab something from somebody or grapple or just all of the different things you can do in combat are listed here, but there are so many that it becomes kind of paralyzing to choose which one is the correct one. This book is very, very thick. It's almost 300, it's over almost 400 pages of rules about solo role playing. And this was one of the things that really surprised me when I kept seeing this game recommended as a beginner game. In my video where I went into great detail about beginning solo role playing, and making, I made some recommendations about what to use. A lot of people asked why I didn't list Ironsworn or Starforged. And at that time, it was because I hadn't played it yet, but also knowing the depth of this system, I just didn't think that this would be a very good game for beginners. And after playing it, I wholeheartedly agree with my initial opinion. If I was just getting into solo role playing and I picked up Ironsworn or Ironsworn Starforged, I would be completely pushed away, just like how I was pushed away when I originally wanted to get into solo role playing and I picked up the Mythic GM emulator. I thought it was too much. And I think it's just, for me, I prefer simpler systems. As an example, in Fallen, the great little RPG from Perplexing Ruins, the entire solo system is on one page. Everything you need to play a solo game on one page. And you also have this nice kind of MacGuffin or icon generator on the back if you need to spark some additional ideas. This, coupled with a very small deck of Oracle cards, can generate, for me, I can use these to generate just as much fun and story as all of the 300 pages and all the various charts and oracles and moves that are in Starforged. We Deal in Lead, which is a really cool Weird West RPG that has solo rules, and that is from Odin's Beard, the creators of Runecairn. And the solo rules for We Deal in Lead, let's see if I can find them real quick here. Where are they? Are so short that it's hard to find. So solo play for We Deal in Lead is 2 pages of solo rules. So very, very easy to play solo. The game we just looked at, Down We Go, has solo play, and the solo rules for this are just a couple of pages. Something we're going to be taking a look at soon is Black Sword Hack, a really cool OSR style game. And that also has very, very simple solo rules. And the solo rules are so simple that they don't get in the way of the game. So if I were to take the look at the things that I really did enjoy about this system, about the mechanisms that create the gameplay of Starforged and of Ironsworn, and those are all boiled down into what is my favorite solo system. And I've talked about this system many, many, many times, but that is Solitary Defilement for Morkborg. And Solitary Defilement was highly, highly inspired by Ironsworn. And it uses a move system, but it takes that huge list of moves, all of those moves that are listed here in the book. I read through all of them. So we have all of these moves, and it condenses those down to just a few. So we have Begin an Adventure, Complete a Milestone, Conclude an Adventure, a general adventuring move, Flee from Combat, Searching for an Object, Camping, Resting, Catching Your Breath, Resupplying, Undertaking a Journey, Dungeon Crawling, and Retire from Adventure. Everything that you can do in Ironsworn is covered by those moves. And this is kind of the extent of what I want to experience as far as mechanisms go, as far as things that drive my adventure on the table. And almost all of the things, all of the actions that you can take that are represented by moves in Ironsworn are all covered under one general adventuring move, a GAM in Solitary Defilement. Decide what you want to do, roll the dice, and take that move. And I never found myself paralyzed by choice when working with a simple system, or when working with something like the Oracle in Fallen or the Oracle cards in Fallen. I was never sitting down at the table going, okay, now what move should I make? All right, is this a move? Am I using the right move? In a way that Ironsworn gives you so many choices. It gives you this huge list of things that you can do, of different cards and all kinds of different oracles and all kinds of different things to roll on and to look up. I just constantly found myself being paralyzed by Ironsworn rather than feeling the pool of adventure, of feeling the excitement of the game. I found myself kind of buried underneath the mechanisms. And I think that's why Ironsworn and Starforged just aren't the games for me, even though I absolutely understand that they are super well made things and that a lot of people really love these systems. So, all right, guys. Well, I hope you enjoyed this this video just with my final thoughts on Ironsworn. I'm sorry that the session recap kind of ended abruptly, but I just couldn't bring myself to play the game anymore. It was sitting on my table for a week, and every time I sat down, I just wasn't inspired to continue my story. And so I needed to cut this series a little bit short in order for me to be able to move on to other things. So I hope you enjoyed this video. We will talk to you later. Bye-bye.